Hey-o. All
right. Welcome to ZUDECAST number 77. We got a whole bunch of nothing planned for this one, boys.
Yep.
What's cracking? It's the ZUDECAST therapy session. Or I don't know. We're just going to talk about our lives and our...
Yeah.
I
think that's a good segment name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's Therapy Gecko without the gecko.
Exactly. We'll get the calls going though at some point. So
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say we didn't get that popping yet. Not yet.
I think it's possible. I just have to go into, or you can go into, what is it called? Fucking Google Voice, man.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out another time. Yeah.
But that could be a thing if people are interested in that.
Yeah.
And doing a call-in show, like if people are interested in calling in and talking that shit.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
Drop a little notification in the chat. Drop a like if you wanna talk to the Zudes at some point.
Live on air.
Not today. I don't want to hear it. Listen, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I'm your boy Crispy Grooves, of course.
Hello, Adrian Grody. What's cracking, y'all?
What's up? It's your boy Robert Ware. How's it going?
Yo, what's up? This is Okumoja, aka Taba, here helping out on the boards.
Hell yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we're just totally winging it today. Absolutely,
Just like the good old days.
Whole lot of shaboink, you know, just rocking and rolling, man, living it up. Yeah, man. So yeah, what you're talking about has been a crazy couple weeks for us, man. The ghost in the house has gotten even more mad, and he brought down the watery wrath on our shit last week. I don't know if we already talked about that briefly, but that's a thing.
We talked about it a little bit.
It's been an ongoing crisis. We're about to get a new upstairs bathroom because of it, though. But that's gonna be a whole fucking thing.
We are all the way solving the problem, which I'm finally
I'm
like satisfied with the results, or at least the intended results.
Alleged results.
So for those that don't know, the Zude house is like a 90-year-old house, and so the plumbing's not the best apparently. The whole I guess what they finally figured out after all of our shit got piss water on it, is they finally determined after like the fourth plumber visit that the actual problem is not the pipes. The problem is the shower, the upstairs shower is not sealed, so that when you point the water in a certain direction, it just leaks through the shower, I guess, and goes all over my PlayStation and my TV and Bobby's headphones, which is just happened to be because we had some leakage going on in January that we thought was just I don't know, some leakage. It happens, and we should have seen the signs. I mean, let's be real. When you're 20 somethings and you're desperate to rent a house, you will ignore obvious red flags. It's much like being in a relationship.
Yeah, the paint bubble.
If you see
a paint bubble on your ceiling, you know.
Yeah, Man. There's some damage waiting to be done there. Absolutely, and we kind of just ignored it. And then also like there's like another giant like obvious water stain in the wood floors too in the living room. We're like, it'll be fine. We don't shower that much. It'll be cool.
I'm just hearing fucking Jordan Peterson like, you can't twist reality. Like you can twist it only so far, and the farther and farther you go, it'll eventually snap back. And I'm like,
yeah, and that is what happened. And then we snap back to reality. Oop, to go to gravity.
Yeah, and it's just a waterfall in our living room. Yeah.
We did go chasing waterfalls.
Indeed.
Yo, can I move your water bottle, though? Because it's blocking my super dope shirt. Cosmic Lore Comics got t-shirt store, Teespring, link in the bio on the Cosmic Lore Comics page. This is my shy guy right here. He is a fan of illicit substances, and you can get one, too, for $25 plus shipping.
Bro, that segue was insane.
The merch, man.
You're like, bam, right there. You didn't even know it was coming. Shit. All right,
I know.
sweet.
You can tell that I'm on a mental and physical health kick because I bought a water bottle.
Look at you, man.
Look at me.
Staying hydrated.
I even put ice in it sometimes.
Staying filled with fluids.
Oh, God.
Staying lubricated. Staying loose. Staying flowing. Just letting it flow through me.
Staying ooey and gooey,
Yeah.
Got a
ooey.
little goopy.
Yeah.
We love to see it.
you gotta drink water, folks.
Bro, speaking of drinking ooey gooey substances, bro, so I bought this energy drink, right? It's just a little anecdote that had me really shook earlier, bro. So I went to the store and I'm like, oh man, they don't got yerbas here. So what am I going to get? Whatever. I need some caffeine. I'm like, oh, hey, these look cool. Whatever. I'm going to try them. And I bought it, right? Didn't say the name. Didn't say anything. My phone was in my pocket, bro. I go to the store, buy it, whatever. Come back home. I'm cruising through Instagram and there's a goddamn ad for this exact drink, this exact flavor. And I didn't say shit. I didn't look at shit. I didn't do fucking shit. And it's just fucking, they know, bro. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
The Internet of Things, bro.
No, they definitely know.
Yeah,
Dude, it's fucked. I don't get it, you know? It's like that meme I posted the other day where I was like, it's like, you better get used to living it. You better start believing in cyberpunk dystopias. You're in one.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sheesh, man, it's fucking tough out here, man. I don't get it, you know?
Hey, shout out to whoever just subscribed, dude. We're sitting at 279.
Yo.
I'll tell you
Appreciate
what,
y'all.
boys, we've been getting more comments, more support, more haters, more lovers, more goofballs than we have ever. I think we just hit our PR. We hit our personal record
Yes,
of
indeed.
most viewed clip, excluding reels. Like we've gotten some pretty decent views on some of these reels, but
This is a new record, though. Shout out to
Yeah.
our last guest, Brian Curtin, because he is the primary focus of said
Yes.
clip there.
Brian was awesome.
Yeah, it was
the
great,
man.
man. He was worried about being too high on the show. He was
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah.
We got him too high.
Yeah, our
Should've
bad
got 'em 3
accidents.
I know.
But yeah, I think it was at like 900,
900 something. Hey, so if
920
you
or something like there, you know. So everybody go check that video out. Help us hit 1,000 on that. That'll be a pretty big milestone for us. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
If we
you
can
guys,
hit
yeah.
1,000 views on a video, we'll feel like our lives have some kind of purpose.
Honestly, dude, I was pushing it so hard. I was like sending it to people. I was like, share this, please help me out. Of course,
Please
nobody
watch.
fucking
Yeah.
nobody fucking helps out. But you know, no, that's not true. We got tons of supporters, and I appreciate all y'all. All the Zudes are real.
We
out
started.
there.
We posted some Grateful Dead clips, and that got some people talking.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
man.
Dude, people write like it's crazy. Like because usually we don't get that many comments, and then like out of nowhere, people start writing these dissertations in the
Bro,
comments.
the fucking wooks were coming out of their
It was
holes,
crazy.
my dude.
They were
Wolves come out at night.
They were
Yeah.
coming out of the wook work. You feel me? To
Yeah.
talk about the Grateful Dead clips.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
hold on. Let me find the one.
It's funny because they're
it's
all like, "You
hilarious.
guys don't know shit about the Grateful Dead." I'm like,
That's what we
yeah.
said
I'm
in
like,
the
I don't
video.
fucking know shit about the Grateful fucking Dead, bro.
I'm not old like you.
Well, they were
Brian
like,
was
well-
educating me for sure. So I was like, I gotta tap in now, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's been vexed. He said some shit I
Yeah.
like had remotely no concept of, like the origin of fucking like front of house audio engineering.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
that's personally interesting to me. So
Definitely.
Oh, I
That
think
was
it's the
cool.
other one that had more comments on it.
oh really?
Which one was the? Oh wait,
The one with more views or whatever out of the.
Oh,
there's
this
two
one, the
Grateful Dead clips.
Yeah. This guy here.
Let's see. Let's pull up the comments here.
Dude, this shit is so funny right here. We got Ritual Productions in the chat, obviously. So
Yo,
Shout out to
1977
Ritual.
gang.
It's a real one.
And he said, "This is one guy. This is silly. Was your first show 2000?" It's like, actually, no. It's probably more like 2000. For me, I was like, I don't even think I went to a real concert until I was like a teenager. Like, so like,
Yeah, no, I was
like 2000.
I was 2005. I saw Carlos
Yeah.
Santana when I was a kid.
That's real.
Oh no, I saw yeah, Carlos Santana was my first concert, and then I saw the Eagles too.
That's fucking lit.
And
dude.
then again
Goddamn.
too, first time I ever got high in my life was at a Parliament concert. So
Dope,
Shoot,
dope.
I-
my parents
I had
never
cool
took me to concerts.
I had cool parents for that for sure.
But dude, look at this fucking guy right here. Shout out Natural Green in the comments. I wish he was there too, because he's like, I wish I was in the room for that conversation. Would have had a lot to contribute from personal experience as
Right.
well as opinions about shows, styles, musicians, etc. And then he's like, he goes off, bro, about like the 72 to 74. And he's like, I love just deadheads and their encyclopedic knowledge.
Yeah.
Where it's like they can't remember like their car keys or whatever, but then they're like, the August 27th, 1972, from Veneta, Oregon. That show is so far out. The playing, capitalized playing, they did it. That show is off the charts. That Dark Star, that version of Dark Star, it's my absolute favorite. Where it's just like, how many versions of Dark Star did you listen to determine that? You know,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
because that's the thing. That's what's so crazy about the Grateful Dead. Like trying to dive into that. It's like, they have a million live shows where it's just like a bunch of the same songs, but just slightly different versions.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so much to dive into. Hey, but thank you for everybody who's been commenting on all of our shit. We appreciate you. You make us.
I like
you
this
make
one right
life
here
worth
though.
living.
Mind-numbing ass video. There are 2 Grateful Dead eras considered the best. Says who? It's all different and depends on taste of the listener. These best conversations are so mood 100% of the time. Didn't even mention any other period. Cowboy sound of the early 70s. The primo psychedelic period in the 60s. Come on, son.
Also forgot to
Come
mention
on,
apples
come
and
on.
oranges. And I don't know. I think he clearly stated that it was his opinion in the video.
I think
right?
we
Like,
definitely
Yeah.
asked him and made it clear, like, yo, what do you think is the best?
Yeah.
Like, we were pretty clear about it. But yeah, let's go full screen here. We don't really have any other funny ones.
No,
right?
like there.
Those
Oh
are the main
no.
ones.
Oh no. There was another
the other
weird
one
one,
that-
dude. Hold on. Where was it?
Oh my god, the Zudeception. I hate it.
I know it's a lot going on right now.
Zude
There is
therapy.
another one that was pretty great. Where was it, dude? I was like, "Is this a bot?" No, on one of the AI videos, one of the comments was just like, "Repent to God," and I was like, "Is this a Christ bot right now?"
Christ build bot. Oh my god.
Identify these 3 crucifixes in the photos to prove you're not a robot.
Oh my god.
Identify the photos with with Eucharists or whatever. Where was it, dude?
I don't know, man.
Hold up. It was
I don't know.
it was in one of these AI ones.
The Repent to God one was on the Twitter Files one.
Yeah.
That was on the Dead Internet Theory episode. They've been kind of blending together because it was the
Yeah.
Dead Internet Theory, and then we talked about AI a bunch with Brian, and then we did that Rob clip about AI too. So there's lots of heavy on the AI lately.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic though, man. I don't know. I don't mind talking about it. You know,
I like it.
Oh, we get ratioed too on our AI
right.
clip on YouTube Pro. People hate that. We just acknowledge the facts, bro. Motherfuckers gonna have to
got-
use AI. Like
We got ratio, did we?
a little, not too bad, but I
don't
we
know.
definitely got more dislikes than likes on that one.
It's like apparently you can't make light of something that happens like in every single generation, which is there's a new technological revolution
Yeah.
that puts people out of work basically, and you have to like figure out a new career path.
I'm kind of surprised because that's not that like uncommon knowledge. We literally talked
Right.
about it. Yeah, exactly. It happens. Fuck. How do you think the fools that cleaned the shit out of outhouses felt when toilets came around? Come
They're like,
on, bro. That
yes.
was their bag, bro.
They're like, wow, all I'm capable of in life is literally cleaning other people's shit because I can't get like another job, and now I can't even do that. Like,
That's wild.
And it's like, I mean, I will say, I do think that at some, like, maybe it could create more inequality because there are less, like, mid-tier, like, bullshit data entry job type shit. But, I mean, I don't know. Again, like, the whole point of it, people clearly missed the point of it, I feel like. I feel like they probably listened for 2 seconds and heard, like, oh, AI is great. And then just fucking started being negative Nancy's.
bro, that's not what we were saying at all, man.
Well, and it's like,
It's more about adapting, to the reality of it.
Right.
It's already a reality. And,
you can't sit in the corner with your ears plugged, just being like, la la la. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna lose my. It's
No,
like,
yeah.
Well,
I
and
definitely
it's-
appreciated like Brian's like take on it because like I've always like had like more of a negative outlook just because it's like you could think of all like the Terminator or like iRobot esque things that AI could do, but it's like there also could be positive things, and if you do get ahead of it, you're gonna make it better for your experience of it better.
well, and it's like it's what's annoying is like the fear mongering shit is what always gets the views and
Right.
gets so much attention. Where it's like everything's gonna be bad, no one's gonna have jobs, we're all gonna be broke, the robots are gonna take over everything, and they won't even give us hand jobs, and they won't even do anything. And it's like, man, it's like what it's like. But if you just act like positive for like 2 seconds or try to see a silver lining in a situation, they're like, shut the fuck up. No, everything's bad. I'm sick of the internet, dude. It's like killing my brain cells. It's like, I don't even know. It's crazy. And it's literally, I mean, it's kind of right. Everything is just controlled by bots and AI, like DoorDash, for example.
oh right.
oh, man.
Yeah.
That's facts. Yeah.
Bro, they didn't.
Story time.
Yeah, they didn't fire me. They deactivated me, bro. They
Oh
fucking-
my god, that's worse almost.
Yeah,
that's
they're like, you're deactivated.
that's
I'm
more
like, Jesus
dystopian
Christ.
sounding.
Why?
in a
What
way.
happened with the DoorDash? That's crazy.
Oh man, dude. So like, okay, my license expired on my birthday, and I was like, I thought about it like a couple months ago. I was like, oh shit, my license is gonna expire, and then it's just one of those things where it slipped away from me, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go do that.
Yeah.
So like, I was busy that week, and I was like, okay, but I was still like door dashing or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then So like the 15th was my birthday, and then like a week later, I open up DoorDash to go to work, and then it was like, please re-verify your ID for, I don't know if they knew that it expired and that's what triggered it, or if it was just like, maybe it's just because it just passed like 3 years or something since I started using it, and they're like, let's re-verify or whatever.
Right.
And then I was like, oh shit, like my ID was still in the mail and it was like taking super long from the DMV, and I was like trying to talk to tech support and be like, I have my interim license, can you use that? And she's like, sorry, it's a third party thing that handles that. And then I was like, I have this legal document here that I can drive, so like what's the problem? But it's just like one of those things where there's no one to actually manually look at it. It's just a photo thing, and when you have to do the photo on the app and take a picture of your ID, and it's, if you try to take a picture of an interim license, it's like, nope, ID not detected, nope. And because it is just a robot. It's just an AI thing. So I kept like emailing them and be like, please, is there a way to get this so I don't have to wait another like 2 weeks or whatever for this ID to show up? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, you can actually put in a form for manual review. Well, it's like, of course the first lady was like, no, there's nothing we can do, sorry, because she just didn't want to deal with it. And then I like chewed out a second lady on the phone. She's like, oh yeah, let me send you a referral for the manual verification. I was like, well, there was a way to solve it, you just didn't want to fucking tell me. And then so I put that in, and I was like, here's my ID, here's my interim license, help me out here. And then they're like a week later, they're like, after further review, we've deactivated your account. I was like, no,
that's terrible.
It's
bro.
like,
That's
I was like, I snitched on myself, dude. It was crazy. I was like, fuck. Because
I thought we fixed this problem. Apparently,
I don't
not.
know, dude. You changed the audio settings this time?
I didn't change the buffer settings at all.
Man, I know. A last episode was perfect. What happened? What happened? Anyways,
it was going strong until that moment just
I
now,
know. I know. They're trying to hold me back, dude.
They're killing us, man.
Man, that's some BS, bro. That's that shit.
So I was waiting. I was like not able to go to work for 2 weeks, waiting for them to to get my ID so I could get my accounts back online and get going again. And then like the day before my ID shows up back in the mail, it's like, you're deactivated. And then it's like, I put in an appeal to reactivate it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just one of those things where it's like, well, now that we actually did get a human being to look at it, your shit expired on the 15th, but you worked on the 16th.
Oh, what?
And I was like, but they didn't even give me the notification about it until like a week or so later.
That's crazy. I mean, I feel like they honestly should let you just get it. Like, you have your ID now, so it's like,
it's crazy.
It's also on them for letting you work with an expired ID. The bot should have blocked you out and been like, okay, no, you're not working
until we get this straightened
your
out.
shit expired.
Yeah.
You should not be able to work, but it didn't do that, and that's really on them, bro. You should definitely see if there's some sort of
you should try to
litigation on that shit. I know you've been jumping through a bunch of legal loops lately.
Man,
anyways,
dude, I feel like I've just been in fucking email purgatory like the last month or so, bro. Dealing with like a legal settlement and dealing with like a tax guy who's like asking me a million questions. Hey, shout out to the tax guy. Shout out to this dude Mitchell. Man, dude, he hooked me up though, because I was like pretty sure I was about to owe quite a lot in taxes, and I still owe several $1,000s in taxes, but I saved like $1,000 because I went to a different tax guy instead of TurboTax. Fuck TurboTax. They can eat my asshole. So yeah, I'm an Uber Eats like guy now, I guess, and it's been dog shit so far for the past couple days. And so I'm seeing maybe if I can just fucking double up, have Uber Eats in my asshole and then fucking Grubhub in my mouth, and just see if I can get double spit roasted by both the apps at the same time, and then maybe I'll make enough money. And I'm like, fuck. And I was like, I got fired from DoorDash, and I was like, I don't need this shit, man. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get more gigs. I'm gonna play more music. I'm gonna do more stuff. And then like, I got my license, and then like the very next day, I was just like, all right, so Uber Eats. And then I was like, damn, maybe I am really just made for the streets. Fuck, back for that old life once again, dude. I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist an easy payday. It was pretty garbage though. I averaged like $10 an hour today. I was like,
it's pretty ass, dude.
This is
not
trash.
it's not
This is
where it's
dog
at.
shit.
Yeah.
This is dog shit.
Yeah.
Gig economy sucks, dude. But DoorDash, I will say, DoorDash was the best of all of them.
I
Uber
mean,
Eats-
honestly, I did DoorDash for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm an Instacart guy, man.
Yeah?
I feel like Instacart's the best.
See, that's what I was
Instacart's
saying
the best.
earlier. I was
Maybe
like,
I
maybe
should,
you should
dude.
check that out. You know,
I'm not.
Get
I
bigger payouts.
hate grocery
Like, I don't even do
shopping.
DoorDash anymore because
Yeah.
like Instacart just
Is it
fills
better?
my needs. Yeah, I love it.
It's less wear on the car.
less wear on the car. I like to go in stores and kind of be social, but like I don't be talking to nobody. But this is like just being actually inside of a store and like
Yeah.
shopping. Like it's
That's
just like
true.
it's better for my sanity. When I was doing DoorDash, like I was in the grind and I was doing it, but like Instacart is just better for me. I
Yeah.
just love it. You know, it's cool. And like, you know, I typically make a lot more money on average, you know, when I like do the same amount of hours when I was doing DoorDash versus Instacart. So
Right. See, with
Yeah.
Instacart, do they ever make you drive hella far though?
They do, and I actually intentionally drive hella far. I go to Vacaville, like
Oh, damn.
at least once a day, sometimes twice or 3 times a day, because like if I do the same amount of driving in Sacramento, I'm probably gonna make $20 less than if I go to Vacaville because they know like they're like intentional about like sending you back to Sacramento, and so because you're going and making that drive, you might get like a 15 item order, which is only going to take you like 30 minutes to do, and you'll make like $40. And it's like,
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like because you're basically paying for my gas to get here and get back, and I
Right,
have
right.
you know that extra pocket. So
I'm
I like
to
it.
check. I'm gonna have to check out the Instacart then. That
Yeah,
might be a move.
yeah, that's the move. Anyone that likes to do that that's listening, Instacart's the way to go.
Yeah. DoorDash was cool. I mean, it's like, dude, on like most days, like I can make at least $20 an hour, if not like 25. And then like the gas, the gas
Yeah.
sucks. And it was one of those things where it started being okay. And then like, oops, we're like, whoops, we're going to war with Ukraine now.
Right.
So the gas is $5 again. And I'm just
Right.
like, okay, so this is probably not going back down anytime soon. But there was like a half second last year where it was like, and we're talking California here. So it was still like $3, which is still like pretty ludicrous compared to the
Yeah.
rest of the country. But it is what it is. But man, yeah, I'm trying to get out of the gig economy, or not the gig economy, because I am looking for gigs, but like not in that sense, not with the app based.
Yeah.
It's like it's just such dog shit where it's like that's the trade off. I mean, it's like you know what you're getting into. You don't have a boss. You don't have coworkers. You don't have to pick. You don't have to switch with anybody's shifts. You don't have to be like, oh, I need to get this day off, please, Mr. Boss. Can I please? You don't have to talk to anybody about that. But then when something goes wrong, there's also nobody to talk to about that
Yeah.
you built any rapport with that can help you out. So like having cool bosses is very underrated. Like if you have a regular job and you have a chill boss, keep that job or like stay on good terms with that boss
Yeah, definitely.
because
Nothing beats the security, you know. You have that good security and stability, then like, being able to do something like this on the side. It supplements it, but it's like, you're not dependent on that either one. I think that's the lane to be in at our stage right now, you know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
yeah, man. So that's been my bullshit. So I'm just like extremely broke right now. But
it's tough these days.
It sucks, man. But I'm looking into dude. I guess my bandmate Billy said he knows a guy that does he does like product reviews for online resellers. So I was telling you about that, Bobby. But like basically all these companies like Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Reverb, they have a job where basically they just send you like a big box of guitar pedals and shit, and you can keep them for like they're not yours, but like you can keep them for super long, and you just have to make videos about them, like demoing them and checking them out, and then they pay you for it. And I was like, that sounds pretty sweet, dude. So he has a buddy
sponsorships.
He has a buddy that does that, and I'm like, dude, that's a triple win. Get the editing skills up, get the guitar skills up. Create like a portfolio of work of editing and guitar playing work, and get my own channel popping, because I'm like my own like Crispy Grooves channel is just nothing right now. I have like one video on there.
Yeah, I feel you.
Oh, but hell yeah,
So
sounds like
that could be cool.
Yeah.
And then also I'm trying to do what seemingly every other musician does in Sacramento, which is on gigs days that they don't have an actual playing gig, they just run sound for other venues, which honestly, some of the running sound venues, like that actually pays better than the actual music performance gigs a lot of the time. So I've got a pretty good connect with that.
Because it's usually like what, a 1 maybe 2 person job, running like front of house and shit.
Right. Yeah, running front of house. So yeah, you can make a lot of money doing that. So I'm looking into that. And then, dude, I also was looking into a few years ago. I want to see if they're still doing it, but like, bro, back in 2020, they had this in SAC. They had this Explore Midtown thing, and it was like a busking thing. And they would just pay. They would just say, "Hey, go out on K and 24th and go play music outside for like 2 hours, and then we pay you like 150 or whatever, and then you get tips too." And like, I did that for one summer. It was sweet, dude, because like and people were like throwing all sorts of tips in there, whatever. You can put your like Venmo QR code or whatever. And then people were throwing like bags of weed and stuff in the tips. Like someone just dropped off like a bag of like edibles. I was like, yes,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
So I'm
That
looking
sounds
at that. I'm just, yeah, like maybe that's Uber Eats is so shitty that I'm like, okay, this is too shitty to work out. DoorDash was just enough, but Uber Eats is not enough. And it's dog shit, and so that'll give me the push that I need to
feel it.
get off of this
To
life.
accelerate
It's
a little bit
terrible
there.
lifestyle, bro. Like the Uber Eats, DoorDash lifestyle.
Being
sucks,
a driver
man.
in general, it's
It's-
too stressful. I was a driver for Guayaki, like yerba mate and stuff, and like that shit sucked, bro. That was horrible. It was like all of that, all the driving stress, like you're talking about, but at fucking 5 a.m, shit was rough, bro.
We still got to write that song Guayaki Bukaki. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, gotta buy like a whole case of. Never mind. Never mind.
But yeah,
That's
dude, just
gross.
the lifestyle of it. I'm like, I've definitely like sort of blamed DoorDash for like I just like gained like 20 pounds or whatever. And I'm like, dude, because when you're out there all day, you're like, do I want to go all the way home to go make food, or do I want to just like run through this Taco Bell real quick and then just keep going? You know, you're like, I don't want to like stop.
Meal
I don't want
prep.
to stop. I know.
Yeah.
Yep, I
But
had
it's
to get
even with
smart
the
about it.
with the meal prep, it's like you don't have anywhere to like heat stuff up in your car. Like you have to like go into a fucking 7-Eleven, and then they're like, no, you can't microwave your outside food. You can only microwave our shitty hot dogs or nothing. Get the fuck like, and it's just like, okay.
No, yeah.
Okay.
That
That's
almost
another
sounds
plus
like a
to
Tim
Instacart
Robinson.
for me, because it's like, because I'm in a store, you know, I'll just use my little EBT or whatever, get, you know, some shit, you know, and like that's what I'm snacking on for the day, because I was doing that. I was going to fast food places, like, bro, like I can't keep doing this.
I
So,
started
like,
doing that
yeah.
way too much. It's great. It's so
Yeah.
bad, dude.
You gotta
It's
get
so
the snacks, you gotta meal prep, all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick shout out to the chats. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We got
Oh, Malibu Boy, hello.
Malibu
appreciate the love,
and
y'all. We appreciate
Ashley
the love.
up in the chat here.
Oh, she says staticky. Oh, never mind though.
Lies. Well,
Yeah,
Just a
yeah,
little
maybe,
hiccup,
maybe
that's
for
all.
a second there, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good word for it. Just kind
I
of
had to stop at the food deliveries, cost way too much, and I've seen drivers picking their butts in their nose while picking up the food. That grossed me out a lot. Again, it's not something that's super duper sustainable as like, and again, unless you're doing like a Uber Eats or something.
Are we getting the audio problems again?
I don't know.
A little static.
Oh, start again. Fuck. It's not something that's super.
Ah,
fuck.
yes, we are.
Fun stuff.
That's cool. Very odd.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anything we can do about that?
Sorry for the inconvenience, guys.
I have no idea.
Fun. Okay. Well,
Cool beans.
yeah, it's very staticky now. They said. Tight. Well,
That's fun. I don't know what to
yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
I don't know, dude. We've been doing it 7 episodes of this shit, and there's always something different every single time. So I don't know. It's very we live in a very demoralizing time at the moment. Is it bad?
But it's sick though.
Getting a little better.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
They're
let's-
just not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
I don't know.
All right.
That's awesome. Do we like restart the interface or something?
I could try something. We're gonna have to go on standby for like 2-3 minutes here.
Okay.
Give us a
All right.
second
Let's
here.
do
Sorry,
that.
Guys, move back. You might get like a 15.
I am looking for gigs.
Cameras here. Hopefully that should be better.
Let's
All
see.
right. Let us know, y'all. Thanks for
All
your
right.
patience.
Let's see. All right. Let's take it back to
Take it back now, y'all.
take it back now, y'all.
One hot this time.
All right, yeah, one hop this time back into the game, man. Trying to figure it out, trying different things, smoking funny things.
Yeah, yep. I'm finding like all these audio driver documents from like 2018 or something about all these multi-track audio solutions, and apparently none of them fucking work anymore. So yeah.
That was kind of a while ago.
Is that what you had to do? Is turn multi-track back off, or?
Yep.
Okay.
It was there for a second, but
Was that what was causing it?
I would assume so. Let's see, this is the same problem we had last time. I was like, oh, maybe we got some of God's will on our side or some shit like that.
No.
Apparently not.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. Hopefully that wasn't like too much of the episode being hella staticky there, but
Didn't seem like it was.
so yeah, that's my bullshit going on, and yeah, sometimes you're just like, man, what's the fucking point of it all? But you know, I don't know. You gotta, I don't know, with the music and the podcast and all that stuff, it's like you kind of got to stick it out. Where it's like there's just a lot of people that just rest assured that a lot of other people will quit and give up, and then if you're the guy that just doesn't get stopped, then chances are you'll be in a lot better position.
Yeah.
Than a lot of people, because a lot of people just stop.
Yeah, we could have stopped making ZUDECAST like long time ago.
Yeah,
Several times.
It's been over
Yeah.
2 years now, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, we're getting close to 300 subscribers, and it may not may not seem like a shit ton of subscribers to a lot of people, but to us, it's like
We've
we
been
worked
working our
for,
fucking ass off for those subscribers.
for like
bro.
every single one of the
Yeah, man. Diligence pays off.
Well, we did
Keep at
just
it.
hit 600 followers too, though, which I
Hey,
feel like
on
is a
Insta,
bit
yeah.
more. I don't know. I feel like there's a little more engagement there with the actual people that I follow and such, and you know, it's real people I've met and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a little bit not. It's a little bit more encouraging too than like some of the YouTube shit where it's like, I don't know. Sometimes it's like even if people view, you know, you don't really see like that interaction. Whereas like if someone like likes your shit on like Instagram or something, it's like you see it there and it's just like, okay, it's a lot more kind of validating, you know, nudge in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I feel like I personally just
Hey, speaking of which, 280, baby.
I'm a
Let's
little-
go.
Hey, whoever's subscribing, thank you.
let's go.
Appreciate y'all.
We love the love, man.
Well, dude, I mean, but it is nice getting just random comments from people that are just like the chemistry or just like they're like, this is interesting stuff, guys. Keep going. I'm like, I have no idea who you are, but thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to all of y'all,
Yeah.
all y'all randos, all the people that we know in real life and all the randos. You guys make it worth it for us to do this, and
Because now you're a Zude too.
yeah,
Yes, indeed.
You're one of us.
Right.
One of us.
So yeah, what's been going on with y'all?
Ah, man. I don't know. You want to go?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Well, I've been getting sucked into the portal of playing a new video game. Well, first it was Valheim. Now I'm sucked into Satisfactory. So, you know, probably put like 300 hours into that in like the span of a week.
Yeah, dude.
Is it? Are there even
That's
300
wild.
hours
That's
in a week?
bro. Do not tell me you played 300 hours of the game already of Satisfactory.
Well, I leave it on at night.
Oh, you wild for that.
Yeah. it's-
So your factory can keep rolling. Yeah. This is why your computer sounds like a fucking jet turbine.
Well, no,
it
I-
already did. Yeah,
it's
but
because I have to. It's because
That's
if I
crazy.
don't, it'll fucking catch fire probably. But I don't know. Yeah.
well, that's cool.
Falling asleep with the jet turbines in the background and the like Tom and Jerry oldies live stream.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's the video right there. If you're trying to fall asleep, bro,
Yeah. Nemo's Dreamscape.
put the shout out.
No,
the-
them old school, like, you know, like the 90s kids, like, you know, YouTube just like continuing playing different episodes. I love that. I love that shit, bro.
Yep.
I like.
It's like music playing from another room, like thunder and rain
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
background type
Yeah.
shit.
And it's just like weird 1940s stuff, like that sounds like Fallout 3 music. That's where it's at.
100%. Yeah, no, I think it was a Fallout radio stream that got me on that too, on that like trend, and now I'm just like, all right, what can I find?
I know, dude.
Like,
You know you're
branch out,
you
find
know you're
everything,
getting
yeah.
old when sleep videos are like taking over your algorithm. Because you watch one, they're like, "Wow, dude, you watch this shit for 10 hours, you psycho."
Bro, have you checked out that spaceship interior brown noise with real like shuttle?
That's the one,
shuttle
bro.
sounds, bro. Yeah, 10-hour version. That's just slap.
I think I've seen some shit like that at least. That's pretty funny.
Oh man. So what do we got here?
Yeah, I mean, same though. Just been playing a bunch of video games. It's funny because we were just talking about this. We're like, we both like been so like just on the grind, and then the video games we play to relax are fucking grindy video games. It's like,
Yeah.
god damn it, that's not the best for your brain. But
Yeah.
I went back to Dark Souls 1 and hit a new game plus on that with my old file. Oh my god, bro, I was breezing through it, and then goddamn Ornstein and Smo had me blowing a fuse, like just. I don't know, man. It's a very unhealthy relationship I have with Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, I think the farther back you go into the series too, the more unhealthy it gets.
Well, that game, dude, like I already just like, you know, everybody back in the day thought that game was invulnerable to criticism because they're just like, oh, you just don't like hard games. You just suck at video games. You just need to get good.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I beat all the Devil May Cries on the hardest difficulty. I beat Ninja Gaiden Black. I beat fucking Tenshu. Like all these hard games. And it's like, yo, this game is clunky. I'm having problems with it. And there's some shit that doesn't make sense to me.
like,
and nobody gave any fucking constructive advice for like years. It's so fucking tough, bro. And you know, again, played the whole series now and gone back to Dark Souls 1, and I'm still like, yo, this game's buggy as fuck. This game's fucking clunky, bro. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
it's you know, I beat it. It's a very very confusing experience to me.
I feel you.
It's so
They've come a long way.
it gaslights you, bro, for real. They're like, it's just hard. It's like, no, that was just bullshit, but whatever. Like, I don't know. Come
They've-
at me. Come
they've
at me. I love
definitely-
it. I love fucking pissing off Dark Souls fans, bro.
They've definitely gotten a lot better over the years at narrowing down the like where it's like hard but fair kind
Yeah,
of
what
thing.
the thing
where it's
is
like, you
like
don't just feel like you're just getting fucked for no
It's
reason.
the handling, bro. And like I said, I was like, going back, I'm like, yo, like this handles like shit for its time. Like
Yeah.
for its time, Dark Souls 1 does not handle well. It's like you are, and it's like I will compare it to Devil May Cry 1, the first Devil May Cry, because you are rolling to you're rolling and dodging. Like that's what you're doing to move around and recover from the combat. You're rolling, and I understand. Like, and I say the first Devil May Cry because that one is a lot more slower pace. It's not as insane as the other ones, and it's like, bro, that's a PS2 game, bro, and that fucking handles better than Dark Souls does, and that's fucking embarrassing, honestly, bro. Like, it's not. I don't know. I got shit to say about that
Yeah.
game. Maybe
Well,
I'll make
'cause-
a video sometime.
Because there's some games where your controller takes priority, and then there's some games where animation takes priority, and Dark Souls definitely falls under the latter, where it's just like if you start doing something, you have like it makes you commit, like you can't cancel out of
The
shit.
animation locking.
Yeah, where it's like if you play like a super fast paced like twitchy Call of Duty type of game, and you're like, oh, I need to reload, and then someone like jumps in front of you, and you're like, wait, but I need to shoot them first. Hold on. And then you just stop reloading, and then like it just cancels the animation, and then just goes back to the shooting animation.
Isn't dodging just a animation cancel for everything
Kinda,
in Dark
But,
Souls?
like-
In Dark Souls,
but you can't cancel out of it if you're already swinging though. Like if you're already swinging a weapon and then you hit dodge, like
I feel like your iframes are a lot more stupid on that game too, because
too,
it's like
yeah.
you can get hit in the middle of dodging, and it's like that's bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
like that's really stupid. And obviously, again, it's an old game. I get it, but it's like, bro, if you're in the middle of a fucking roll, you should not be able to get hit, and you can in that game, and it's pretty fucking annoying. Like I said, I don't know. I played all the rest of the games, and it's like none of them make me feel the way that Dark Souls 1 does. It like that game is very infuriating.
I feel like,
Like,
Dark
even-
Souls 2 though is also very infuriating.
That game sucks though. That's the difference.
Well, the worst thing about Dark Souls 2 is that no matter where you dodge, they kind of just like the enemy will just auto target to where the fuck you just dodged to, so that they are able to perfectly hit you no matter what. Hey, shout out to Jesse in the chat saying World War I bunker noises to fall asleep to is a thing.
Oh yeah.
God.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, when you're like trapped in a past life, you just got to remember.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah.
That's tough. But
I don't know. Like,
that being said, my favorite FromSoft game is Bloodborne, because that game that's not a problem in that game. That game's amazing. You're so fast. You're so fucking agile. Like all the dodge animation, I feel like is damn near perfect on that game, because it's just like. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it. You're a knight or whatever, but again, it's still bullshit if you can get hit in the middle of rolling or in the middle of getting up. That's fucking garbage, bro.
Yeah, when your character's like slowly trying to get up and then you just get smacked back down, like in the
That's
middle of that,
fucking
you're like,
horse shit,
that's
dude.
cool,
Like, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm talking shit about a fucking 10-year-old game at this
12-year-old
point.
game,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, you know, obviously it was pretty fucking like Demon Souls and Dark Souls, pretty revolutionary for the time. But like, dude, I know we're like both like stunted in 2011 right now, because I'm going back to Skyrim. Like, I've just been playing Skyrim on Switch.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
that's the move, dude. If you're a DoorDash employee or whatever, and you have nothing going on, and you're waiting like 45 minutes between orders, just play some Skyrim. Shout
Skyrim
out
is for the Nords.
on Switch, dude.
Yeah.
It's easily the worst looking version of the game, but you know what?
The most
It's
fun.
pretty sweet though.
The most accessible, maybe.
It's definitely the most accessible to play it like just in bed or whatever. Just a post nut Skyrim. It's pretty sweet. That's a chill game where I'm like, if I'm in a bad mental state, I can't be playing a video game that's like gonna just kick my ass even more, like that will just make me rage. Like,
yeah.
I want to hop back into Elden Ring and stuff, and Elden Ring is like the least bad of all the FromSoft games in terms of being rage inducing. But it's sometimes where it's just like, dude, it's like none of this matters. It's a video game. This is stupid. This is for kids.
Yeah.
And also I'm like, my blood pressure's like going up like crazy, and I'm like, this is not worth it. Like, I don't know. It's like
You got to play games you enjoy, man. I mean,
like, I got enough actual challenges to like really get into a challenging game where it's just like, but it's like that's the thing. And I feel like, I don't know. It's almost like an overcorrection by all of the like Manosphere or whatever people, where it's like a lot of those guys like Hamza or whatever. And like all these guys where it's like, I get what they're saying, bro, but it's like, you know, it's like, they're like, oh, just quit playing video games entirely, bro, because most of the people that they're marketing to and their audience is just people that are like way, way, way too deep into it, where they're just like playing Fortnite for like 8 hours a day. And it's like, you know, at least Dark Souls, after a while, it ends. Or Skyrim ends. There's an end credit screen, and then you're like, okay, cool, I'm done with this now. But with like all these multiplayer games or like MMOs and stuff like that, it's just a never-ending content pipeline that just will suck you in forever. And it's like, I feel it like there's a lot of people that probably should just like quit video games cold turkey. But it's like, I don't know. To me, that's like quitting movies, where it's just like, yeah, movies are a waste of time, but like,
it's like, what am I
so
going
is
to do?
a lot of
Just,
shit though.
like, have complete abstinence from all forms of media, art, entertainment, just so I can become the pure ultimate Giga Chad? I'm like, no.
I mean,
I'm gonna play
yes.
some fucking video games.
It's 100% true. If I didn't play Skyrim, and all the hours of the last few weeks that I spent playing Skyrim, I spent like working out and playing guitar. That's ultimately better for me.
So I was actually watching a little bit of Destiny, and he was talking to Dr. K, like Healthy Gamer GG.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like a psychiatrist
Yeah,
or
I've
something.
seen shit.
And they were talking about how, like, through the course of history, like, no matter what man has done to like communicate to each other, like, as men, we all like seem to like face these roadblocks, these problems in our lives. And Destiny's like, oh yeah, like I wonder if there's like somebody could just like write a like shortcut or a cheat sheet on like how to, you know, have like a healthy relationship, or how to deal with like a, you know, a parent or something that you like don't really like, and shit like that. And I don't know, I can't help but think that what were you just saying?
About quitting video games or whatever.
Yeah, so I think no matter what you do, like, you can't feel like guilty essentially about the things that you partake in, because no matter what happens, in life, and no matter like how many shortcuts you take to like avoid pain or misery, you're gonna hit like a point where you're suffering from something. So it's like, might as well just enjoy it and not cause more suffering for yourself, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, video games, to me, my justification for video games, I'm like, well, I'd rather spend an hour playing Skyrim than an hour just scrolling through Instagram reels and like truly burning my brain cells.
Yeah.
Because some of these fucking reels lately, they're funny, but where it's just like, some of them are just the most like schizoid nonsense where they just, you know, the ones recently where they just play like every sound effect at the same time, where it's just like, oh hell no, oh my god, oh bro, oh. Like bro, it's like, what like they just do all those like sound effects at the same time, and it's like the Hanna-Barbera cartoon sound effects. It's like I'm like, I can't listen to this anymore. It's like just burning my brain. It's like I'm dropping several IQ points every day. So I'm like, you know what? Video games aren't that bad in comparison to that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think happiness in general can come from like building conscious positive habits. And if video games is one of those things that you get enjoyment out of, then it's like, that's fine, but you can't have like that love-hate relationship with it where you're like, oh no, I'm spending too much time. This is a shitty kid's game. I'm like wasting my life away. It's like, no, you either like games or you don't, and fucking you can like use them in the time that you want, or you can just not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. People make so much of it when it's like, just
Yeah, I
enjoy
mean,
the
I
thing
think
in the
it's-
time that you have to enjoy
right.
the thing.
I also think it's easier to allocate time to play video games versus like social media can pop up and rot your brain at any point throughout the
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, like you can get caught in the warp hole in the middle of your day and you're like, fuck, what was I doing? Whereas like if I'm playing, especially if I'm playing like Dark Souls, like, or like, because that's the game I've been playing. So that's why I'm referring to that. But it's like, if I'm playing a video game, I'm going to play it at the end of the day usually. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to play until not, you know, up to slightly before I go to bed. But again, you're also, you know, I think video games, you know, they used to say like, oh, video games rot your brain. And it's like, dude, Instagram rots your brain way worse, man, especially with
so.
all the ass and titties on there. Like, bro, that shit has gotten bad. Like all the suggested reels is just chicks with the fattest asses and the fattest
absolutely.
titties. And it's just like, bro, it's like unlike real how like really this is what the fucking the algorithm's pushing like to everybody. And again, it's like, think about all the fucking poor teenagers, bro. Think about all the fucking, you know, first of all, they shouldn't even be on this shit. I'm gonna keep it 300, bro. It's like it's not even like MySpace where back in the day where it's like, oh, it's your own little profile and you can add your friends and you guys can talk to each other. It's like, no, you're getting everything from everywhere these days. And it's like, when, you know, if I was a 14-year-old kid and I had all this ass and titties getting poured into my algorithm, bro, I'd be cooked, bro. The pipeline from social media to fucking like porn sites is it's such a fucking through line, and it's making me fucking sick to my stomach, honestly, bro.
We gotta
I'm getting
make it
so
worse.
fucking sick of it, bro. And then there's just that whole thing. How was it Utah?
Yeah.
Utah banned Pornhub, or they made Pornhub. They forced them to have an age verification system in order to continue to remain in business in Utah. And Pornhub just said, no, we're just not going to serve this whole state because it's not going to be fucking lucrative anymore because they know they're targeting people who shouldn't be on these websites.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yep, it's pretty bad.
Right. They're like, so if we can't just get away with selling this shit to kids, then it's not even worth it for the money for us. It's like,
I've been saying for years that porn sites need to have age verification of some sort. Also, I think that people need to be 21 to star in porn, to be in porn. I think people need to be 21 because if you can't drink alcohol legally because your brain's not developed, why can you go fucking suck 5-10 fucking dicks at a time? You know?
well, dude, and it's like when you look into the numbers of this shit, I mean, the overwhelming majority of people in these videos. I'm trying to like keep it like sort
It's
of
tough.
like
You can't.
It's,
Fuck,
you
yeah,
can't.
it's
And this
a
is
fucking-
gonna. Maybe we'll do like a members only on our OnlyFans. Do a video about this
Only Zudes.
on Only Zudes. But yeah, no, it's crazy. Just the industry's crazy, man. And it's like one thing where it's like. It's one thing if it's just like an OnlyFans chick and she's just like, oh, she's just sitting in her apartment and then she takes some photos of her feet and then fucking some loser buys them or whatever. That's fine. I mean, well, it's not fine. It's still stupid, but it's not as exploitive as like 90% of the actors and actresses in these films are like abuse victims themselves.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're there. It's just that's what they know.
Yeah, it's such a
It's extremely sad.
It just just chews people up and spits them out, and it's just gross, bro. Like it's like I don't want to like society, man. Like it's not good.
I don't know. One day they're just gonna wake up and wonder where the fucking years have gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the cold hard truth of that. Like,
yeah, it's
rough.
It's a whole thing, but again, it's just and that's what I'm saying though too, because it's like someone might be like, oh man, I'm just cruising through Instagram looking at skate videos or looking at Fortnite highlights or something, and that's just like, oh damn, that's a fat booty. Oh man, I'm riled up now. Oh man, let me just go crank one out. Okay, all right, now I'm back to what I was doing before. Same fucking thing happens again, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's an addictive cycle. Then it's just like, oh shit, and it's just like a bing, 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 ramps it up, and it's fucked. I'm almost 30 years old, and that shit happens sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
These poor kids don't stand a chance.
Well, and then
not
like
a chance at all.
and the dopamine addiction that's tied in with it is crazy. Like I'm sure most guys and probably girls too can relate to the idea of like you just bust one out, and then immediately, like before even putting your phone down, you close the browser tab and then just open up Instagram and like or whatever, where it's like still just like a mess. You haven't even got up and wiped up.
Yeah.
And you're back on the Instagram, and it's just like, and I feel like especially in the post nut, that people call it post nut clarity or whatever. But it's like when you hit that level with your brain, it makes you even more susceptible to everything that you absorb with your brain. Like right after that too is just like it just sinks in even further too.
Right,
It's nasty,
exactly.
dude.
Well, that's the whole thing. Even if your brain has just been like, again, like if you just like, are seeing some ass or titties on Instagram, just that in general makes you more susceptible to shit because, again, people, they know what they're doing, bro. People are most susceptible from fear and from sex. That's when they're most suggestible.
Mm-hmm.
Is when they're afraid or when they're horny. They're down for whatever. They'll do whatever. You can tell them whatever in either of those situations. And, they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Facebook knows what they're doing. Instagram knows what they're doing. YouTube knows what they're doing. It's a problem, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and it's like, I don't even know. Like, yeah, it's just like such a thing that's plaguing so many people. And it really does just rob you of all your energy too. Like when you're just constantly just busting, even if you're just having a lot of sex, like it can still like,
I've heard that it depletes your life source. Apparently, like Joey Badass, he like had like
you heard that,
I heard about
that.
talking about like he doesn't like bust when he like Anyway, yeah, he basically said like he doesn't do that because it like basically like preserves his life force.
See, that's wild. Because there's like 3 levels to it. There's like the nofap of like I'm not gonna wank it to adult videos. That's like level 1.
Right.
And then there's like level 2 is I'm not gonna crank it at all, and I'm only gonna bust from having actual intercourse. And then there's level 3, Joey Badass level, where it's just where it's like he'll just be
Sting level.
Where he'll be smashing and then just be like, okay, I'm done. But it's like, you're not though. But it's like, I must retain. Like, and it's like that has to hurt, right? Like, because like the difference is like I just said a second ago, if you actually like have intercourse with your partner, and then you'll both be chilling there for a while, usually, and it's like you have like a good like half hour where you're just like where you're just chilling. You fucking just like clean up, and then you're just like, all right, cool, I'm just hanging out. But then like it just shows you how deeply unsatisfying just watching videos on the internet is, where you're like yeah, you'll bust and then just immediately go back to be like, all right, so more Skyrim or more more Instagram or whatever. It's just it's crazy. It's just like it's like crack, where you're just like, all right, so where's the next hit of crack?
Yeah, the psychological
crazy.
associations you're building with that sort of behavior pattern are not very
It's nasty,
good
dude.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough stuff, man. Thanks for bearing with us, anybody who's watching. This is
Hey, this is
the
the real shit, though.
Yeah.
There's no chat though. What's up with that? Oh, there
No,
it
that's
is.
good.
Oh, okay. Oh, I feel it. Yeah, man, shit's crazy. We live in a society where we're being constantly flooded with dopamine. Speaking of flooded with dopamine, I really want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, man.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm broke, bro.
I'm really excited for that one. It's gonna be good, and I believe because I know what the plot of the movie is.
I know you're always watching the spoilers and
Yeah.
shit ahead of time. Bro.
I love that kind of stuff.
I can't do that, bro.
Yeah. For me, it doesn't ruin my experience of the movie. It just basically lets me know what I'm buying, And
Yeah.
when I see it, I'm still gonna enjoy it the same way. But based on what I've heard and what I know about it, I know it's gonna be great. And I feel like honestly, it's the best trilogy of the MCU yet. So that's
I believe it
Yeah,
because
I feel it.
James Gunn's the only director I feel like they've let James Gunn and Taika Waititi are the only directors they've let have their own voice in the MCU. Really, because it's like what? Who else? No one. I couldn't even tell you who
Sam
else.
Raimi a little bit, I guess.
Sam Raimi actually did get a little bit of leeway for sure on the Doctor Strange movie for sure. But yeah, James Gunn. Again, I've heard a lot of people be like, "Oh man, this movie's a lot darker than most MCU movies," and I'm like, "That's good. It shouldn't have ever gotten watered down to the point it is because even Iron Man 1, that movie's he's in Al Qaeda, gets blown up in Iraq, it's real shit." And I'm excited to see that for sure, and I'm very curious to see what he's gonna do for in charge of DC and all that, bro.
I'm actually very optimistic about what he's gonna do with DC, and I think that DC's gonna turn around because of him specifically. So I feel like MCU kind of
good.
dropped the ball by dropping him because James Gunn knows what he's doing when it comes to this kind of stuff,
Right.
For sure.
Well, because wasn't Guardians 3 supposed to come out hella long ago? And it got delayed?
Yeah,
Because it was James Gunn got into some. Was it?
It was some old tweets or something.
It was
that.
some very not funny jokes he made
Yeah,
that were
yeah.
very gross for sure, even by my standards.
Yes,
But regardless, it's like they knew that. They knew about all that. James
Right,
Gunn
yeah.
James Gunn got his start making movies for Trauma Productions, which made that old movie The Toxic Avenger. I don't know if you guys know about that
right,
movie,
right.
but that's an old splatterpunk movie.
Okay.
And he's made movies with Sasha Grey and shit, starring in his movie. Bro, they knew who they hired, you know what I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
type shit. They knew what was up, and they still just did it for the PR anyways because they didn't want to get clapped back.
Yeah.
But I've said though, I was like, I don't know how I feel about him doing a Batman or a Superman. I know he's doing Swamp Thing, which I'm excited for. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna do a really good Swamp Thing, but man, I don't know how you're gonna, Superman or Batman, man. Those are some holy cows, some sacred
Yeah.
cows.
Well, have you heard about his plan to reboot Superman by bringing in a younger version of Superman? than,
Right, it's gonna be just a whole new take on it again,
Yeah.
and same with Batman too.
Right,
He's saying it's
yeah.
gonna be it's a Batman and Damian Wayne movie.
Yeah. I'm excited to see Damian Wayne.
Another new Batman?
Another new Batman, bro.
So what
It's
happened with Robert Pattinson?
They're
Batman?
still doing more of those.
Yeah,
It's bro,
in his own branch off universe. That's the thing.
That's
DC's
too
weird,
much,
bro.
bro.
DC movies are weird.
One at a time, please. Just one at a time.
You can't
I
have
know.
two different Batmans
Yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, bro.
running
At least-
congruently to each
That's
other and
so
shit.
I
bro.
don't
It's
trust
stupid.
anything that the DC cinematic universe does or has done to this point, but just the fact that they have some kind of direction now,
Yeah.
it's okay, let's see what you're doing because it's all continuous and you guys have you heard the Jim Lee? He's the new president of operations for DC Comics. now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
Thank
so,
fucking
yeah,
God.
I think they're gonna be working hand in hand to really make some dope shit. So I hope I'm optimistic just because I love Jim Lee. I'm a big Jim Lee guy. He's basically the main reason why I love comic books in general. He's the gateway for me. And I think James Gunn makes good superhero movies. So I hope that they get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That'd be
just,
good.
again, like I said, I don't even know what the hell he'd do for a what would a Batman or a Superman be in his style, you know?
Right,
That's so
yeah.
confusing
Yeah,
to
it'd be
me.
interesting,
Because
yeah.
again, I could see a Swamp Thing because that's such a pulpy kind of B movie style. You could,
Yeah.
there's so much genre in that
Exactly.
character, whereas
Yeah.
a Batman or a Superman, it's I don't know. I can't really see his quirkiness coming through in that.
that's
you know?
true. That's true.
But it'd be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be cool.
I guess he just has to because he's the one he could delegate now, right? In the role that he's in. So hopefully he just delegates the right people for the right jobs. and,
Right, because
stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want him to direct every movie. That
Right,
that will
exactly.
get old really,
Yeah,
really
that would
fast, you know.
definitely, yeah, so.
But I don't know. I think they should do the thing. I think at least they said they're like different characters will have different ratings. Like it'll be rated R if it makes sense for that character.
Right.
Like they won't water down a character for, you know, just because it's a DC movie, which is good because I feel like Marvel does that shit all the fucking time. Yeah. Like Moon Knight should have been rated R.
Yeah.
Moon Knight should have been rated R, bro. He should have been snapping freaking necks. He should have been breaking arms.
The things that they had in the show is like it's not gonna deliver the same way if you have it like, you know, you got to go all in for that.
Well, exactly. So, yeah, it's all about like just being like mental instability. It's like that fool's unhinged in the comics. He's a goddamn maniac, and they totally toned it down. And it's just like that's boring. Like it's boring as fuck, honestly.
Yeah, toning down stuff for the PG-13 rating or toning down stuff because like whatever they want to sell movies in China and they have to like abide by their weird censorship stuff. It's a bummer, dude. And it's like movies have been just like another thing that's so demoralizing for so long where you're like, man, dude, we used to be sick as fuck. Like what's going on? Like, I don't know. And like there's just the industries of like just like Hollywood. And,
there's that writer's strike going on right now too.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, all these writers are mad because like basically AI can just do their jobs for them. Low key, all these late night writer staffs or whatever, like they're getting mad because it's like their shit basically already sounds like it's written by Chat GPT.
Well, it's because I was talking to my coworker about this, and it's because a lot of these writers are just bloggers that just, you know, failed upwards into their roles. They're like, I'm a YouTuber and now I write for BuzzFeed and now I write for The Late Show. Wow. And it's just like you were never fucking good at writing in the first place, you know, type shit. Like you just knew the right people and knew how to play the game, but you were never good at writing. That's what happens with a lot of this shit. So again, a lot of these writers are able to get outdone by, you know, Chat GPT or by, you know, they're not getting paid enough or whatever, but it's like, dude, there's so many of them and they all fucking suck. Like,
okay, I have something we could test out with Chat GPT, right? So if we come up with like who are some of the greatest authors, like arguably we got like Stephen King, for example, is like
Tolkien.
He's like Tolkien. Be like,
That's
all right,
Tolkien, Lovecraft's to go.
Chat GPT, come up with like an original, you know, like Stephen King synopsis and let me know like, and we can see how it holds up, you know? If they could do the job of a real fucking author, like, I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because it's like all they're really doing is just taking a bunch of shit that's just an amalgamation of like every book ever. It's just like if you got a nerd, like it's just like if you got like a hyper autistic nerd to read every comic book ever made, and they're like, make a brand new comic book, and it's just like, it's super Bat Hulk, Man Iron, you know, like where it's just a bunch of a little bit of everything all in one.
Well, that's a problem if you're derivative. That's the thing, is that all these writers are already so derivative. They're already so formulaic. You know, I mean, look at something like, say, Velma. It's like that show was horrible. Oh man, horrible writing, and it's all like, oh, we're being meta, so we can play with these tropes, and it's like we are allowed to do the tropes if it's meta. It's like, no, dude, you can't do bad writing tropes. Period. Even if you're being meta, like it doesn't work that way. And it's like, you know, the fact that something like that got animated as well as it was, because it did look good. It was a good looking show.
It looked great.
You know, and the fact that got greenlit is a problem, bro, because it's like, yo, who the fuck really read this and was like, this is okay. Like this, it's not, dude. And I don't know, you know?
I don't even know. There just used to be such a higher standard of quality now. And like, but I think the big problem is there's just a huge culture of like people just hate watch stuff, or they're like, oh my God, Velma sucks. I watched the whole season. It was so bad. And it's like, then why'd you watch the whole season? You know,
I'm confused about everything with this whole writer's strike though, because like I have a couple of different things about it. It's like first and foremost, when it comes to writing in general, lately I've noticed there's like, it seems to be that writers aren't really able to tell the stories that they want to tell, or they're just bad at writing, because it seems like, you know, the people that are like, you know, in charge is like, you know, they want you to write about a certain type of thing. And they want you to say a certain thing,
fit the message in,
like you might have a dope ass script, and then they start, you know, once it gets, you know, past editing, it's like it's completely different, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's that, but then isn't there like something about like, you know, like the whole payment, like that's the whole thing about it, right? Like they're not getting adequately.
It's a pay strike, pay
strike, So it's like, I feel like people should definitely get paid what they're worth, you know. But at the same time, it's like, are you gonna let people write about what they actually want to write about, or like,
you know? And it's like, they got to get paid what they're worth, but it's like, here's the thing, like I mean, when we're talking about all these like late night people where it's like, you know, Stephen Colbert or like Jimmy Fallon or whoever, you know, there's a few that used to be good. Like there's a few that can stand on their own. Like even like I know like whatever, like everybody like hates Bill Maher or whatever, but like even Bill Maher, like he's capable of he has like his own podcast and shit, and he's like he can still like just talk like off the top, and he's not terrible, like you know, or like Conan, like you know, Conan's like actually like a funny guy, just like on his own because he was a big writer. He wrote for like The Simpsons and stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
And then, but like a lot of these other guys are just puppets, and then they're mad that it's like it takes 12 writers. It's the same as like, you know, with like a fucking Ariana Grande song where like it takes like 12 writers to do what there could be just. But when you compare that to like YouTubers and things that are taking over now, where it's like they don't have a team of writers because they don't need a team of writers because they're just a guy with opinions and they just
they have the
are
organized
themselves.
structure, you know, to make
like
it,
they don't have to have a whole team of people making shit for you. It's like,
well, again, too, I mean, like one of my favorite things of like a writer finally getting to do his own thing is fucking I Think You Should Leave, bro.
Yeah.
Like that show is unlike anything else that's out right now because it has a clear voice of a writer, you know, like, and it's obnoxious, it's absurd, and I definitely see why like mainstream shit wouldn't let that fly, but it's, you know, actually giving writers a chance to do something different is super important right now, and I feel like a lot of writers aren't getting to do that.
I think Netflix still seems to be willing to give people a chance on stuff, or like willing to just be a little bit more hands off.
Not animation, unfortunately, dude.
Yeah,
They done
maybe not.
slashed their animation budget. It's fucked, bro. It's so bad.
It sucks.
Do you think that AI is going to force writers to be better, or do you think it's just going to make creativity less valuable, like as time goes on?
I think that no matter what AI thinks it can do, I think that good writers will be able to form stuff in a way that AI can't necessarily. A good writers will be able to form original ideas better than AI ever will. All AI can do is regurgitate stuff you feed it. Whereas I think writers can come up with new original ideas that are entirely their own. I mean, even if they are derivative, they can, you know, good writers can spin them in their own unique ways.
I still think, there's going to be like a sieve or like a threshold or something where it's like AI is going to get good up to a certain point, maybe like better than your average like entry level or intermediate level person, but then it's like it's going to force the people who truly have like a creative passion about something to really fucking like step up their game and like go at it with everything that they have. Otherwise it's like, you know, you're just gonna
I
get
think
taken
it'll
down.
definitely weed out the crop, you know, of like, because again too, it's like, you know, look at say again like BuzzFeed or just all those random, you know, article
BuzzFeed
websites.
News is
RIP,
went bankrupt.
rest in
basically.
piss,
And
bro.
so did Vice. Vice
really
just went bankrupt too.
Yeah.
RIP,
Hey,
man.
good
So it's
riddance.
kind of a changing of the guard, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, because those have been so bad for so long, and
So
though
long.
like BuzzFeed listicles, those are the ones. Those things can easily be replaced by AI.
Listicles?
Yeah, you know about listicles?
They call them listicles.
That's what they call them. Like, yeah, they call them. Well, I don't know that that's what BuzzFeed calls them, but that's what people refer to them as, where it's like top 10 reasons to be pansexual or whatever. And it's like
Like
you
a
know,
list
it's like-
article, right?
Yeah, but it's like,
yeah.
well, that's what was just so big for so long because, you know, it's a click through thing. So here's number one. You won't believe what I found in my ass or
and
whatever.
it gives you a
like,
little bit of
you know?
dopamine too, just by just going through it. So like
Uh-huh.
that's kind of the appeal of it, you know?
Because they get to have one little picture of like number one in the center of the screen, and then around that they get to have
Fucking
17
40 ads,
different
yeah.
ads.
Right.
The click-through galleries always
The
killed me.
click-through galleries.
It's like they all... Okay, as
But
a
that was
web
the money
designer
train.
too, back in the day, like when I was studying HTML and how to make that shit, I was like, how do you make these like listicle type deals? And I'm like, they all get their own like separate page that's indexed, or at least they used to.
Yep.
And I'm like, how the fuck do you like spend all that development time just to make this bullshit? Like, I don't know.
Dude, it was worth it for them because it was so easy and you could just sell so many ads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if you just
ad
put if you
space.
put your whole article on one page, then someone could just be like, "What are the top 10 movies about?" What? And then like you just scroll down, and you're like, "Here's number one." Okay, fine. Whereas like you have to click through all 10 to get to number one. So that was the move. But yeah, their BuzzFeed News is like their share prices went down to like next to nothing.
Well,
someone should buy it out. It'd be hilarious.
Again, I think too, just like the I can't even think of like other websites because I don't read that bullshit. But it's like the amount of like articles that get like flooded onto Twitter and stuff too, and with people just, again, remember, we've gone through how many articles for ZUDECAST now, and we're reading them out loud and we're like, wow, this reads like shit. Who wrote this, and it's like, the amount of those, if AI can knock some of those assholes down, good. Like good, honestly, fucking good, because so many people think they have a status as a journalist or something when they just write shitty fucking articles calling Magic the Gathering racist or calling fucking Lord of the Rings racist or something. And it's like, really, dude, it's just an unhinged fucking tirade. And, it's no different than ZUDECAST.
That's crazy how AI really is just like a great like leveler like that.
Yeah.
It's like if you can't beat an AI, then fucking sorry, you're just not good enough to like do your job.
Fuck out,
dude. It's like
a lot of people can't do it.
A lot
of people can't.
Right. It's not going to be better than the best person at something, but it might be better than the average person.
Yeah,
because the average person kind of sucks. Well, it's like the scene. Like I saw a meme of from iRobot with Will Smith, where it's like Will Smith is like, he's like yelling at the robot. He's like, a robot can't write a symphony. A robot can't do this. Yes. And then the robot's like, can you? And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, most people can't do all that kind of shit.
Yeah, robots can do fucking sarcasm though. Pretty
I don't
well,
know.
Apparently.
And I'm like,
oh my god. Speaking of robots, Trevor Wallace, right? Like the comedian. I saw this crazy video where they had the fucking robot Sophia, like I think it's the like Android autonomous like AI thing.
Okay.
And they were doing like a fake like bachelorette like dating show with it. It's the craziest, most unhinged thing. It's just like shitting on him because it didn't like his sense of humor. Anyway.
Damn.
So this is the kind of shit we have to look forward to as humans.
Yeah, it is wild.
It's not just in the professional field anymore. It's in the dating field as well.
Man. Dude, it's in everything. And I don't know. Like,
imagine getting swerved by an Alexa, bro.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Dude, and maybe the people who are like ratioing our AI video, are short or whatever. It wasn't that bad, the ratio.
Nah,
but
it wasn't that bad.
It was but maybe they're right, and maybe we are just coping. Like we're just but it's like, okay, what good are any of us gonna do ourselves being like, it's like, it might be true that it's like cities will become overrun with bands of marauders and you won't be able to get food or like what it's like. And it's like, that's cool. And I'm like, people are like, you got to get out of cities, man. The fucking dystopian nightmare future is coming. And I'm like, well, that's cool. There's like pretty much not that much I can do about it. It's
I
like,
still have
it's like,
time, man.
I guess it's like, right. And it's like, I'm not really going to do myself any favors just like constantly worrying about it. It's like, yeah, maybe I probably would be better off if I had chickens or something, but
they sound like climate change extremists.
Yeah,
it really is the same level, bro. I mean, like it's I don't know, it's like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being prepared, and with also like learning survival skills and cultivation skills, like all that's well and good. But it's like, bro, I don't see society collapsing in that way because it's not lucrative for the people at the top, bro, for society to collapse in that way. That's why the same reason I'm like, I don't see anybody using nukes because it's not lucrative to use nukes. There's nothing to gain. And there's nothing to gain from them letting society collapse all the way down. They're going to keep some level of people comfortable. And don't get me wrong, poverty is a problem. Don't get me wrong, fucking crime's a problem. Homelessness is a huge problem. And, it getting worse is a huge problem for sure. But it's like, I don't really see... Again, it's the fear mongering. A lot of the libertarian fools act like they don't fear monger. They do it too. Everybody does it, dude. Like left, right, and center.
Here's a good metaphor. It's like when these guys in like war-torn countries are trying to cross a field or something. There's a bunch of fucking mines. You ask them like, oh, like how do you do that job, clearing mines? It's like, well, either it's like the easiest mine diffusing job ever, or suddenly it's not my problem anymore. It's like I feel like that's dead. And I feel like that's how AI is going to be. It's like either it's not our problem, or like the nukes will be launched within a matter of 10 minutes of it gaining access and like some hypersentience essentially. It's like you don't have the time to react and to stop it. So it's either fine or it's suddenly not your problem. Like,
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately,
There's no
So-
sense, like there's no sense in just being doomer about everything though.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, I don't even know. You have to have some level of hope or optimism or whatever you want to call it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you should be optimistic, open-minded, be well informed, but like, you know, to your guys' point, it's like there's nothing you could really do to stop the AI movement. You know, it's gonna happen regardless. So it's like the best thing to do is to get ahead of it, know what's going on with it, and just try to be optimistic. You
try
know?
to use it to your own advantage too.
Exactly.
Oh,
fuck it,
man.
you know.
It's a crazy thing. I don't know. It's really hard to speculate on, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like we can sit here and
exactly.
theorize a lot too, but I don't know. All I know right now is that it's gaining a lot of traction, and you better be paying attention to it. Otherwise, I don't know. You're gonna get left in a literal different like world.
yeah,
Like the world is moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
yes, indeed.
Absolutely. That's kind of a dark note, but
I don't think
I mean, yeah.
I don't think dark, but it's true. It's like a
It's a
changing
blunt
of eras.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we knew this was coming too. We knew this threshold would eventually come, but we're at like a tipping point, you know? It's like point of no return.
Andrew Yang tried to warn us.
Cat's out of the bag,
Whatever.
bro. Well, when you got, you know, your average college student can access like their own large language model AIs and shit, and they're programming them even. Like you can create this stuff as like a 12, 15-year-old kid and find information on how to make these things on the internet. It's like everybody has access to it, so you can't stop the inevitable.
Well, dude, I think people aren't thinking about the potential upsides of. They only think about like people's basic data entry jobs that are going to be lost, and they're not thinking about some of the asshole jobs that are also going to be lost. Like, like lawyers won't be able to charge you out the ass for all these things because, you know, when you talk to a lawyer, or you talk to a doctor, or you talk to whoever, they try to just, you know, they're like charge you hourly, you know, for hundreds and hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars an hour or a day or whatever for all these services. And they try to keep all of this stuff hidden from you, you know, but it's like eventually there might be just an AI that could just be like, that can help you do your taxes.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I mean, if it's an open source thing, that's the real struggle, is like keeping it open source and accessible to people to actually use as a tool instead of being like price locked or away. Because if you can have an AI that'll just be like, oh, I'll write you a legal document for you in like 2.5 seconds and it's free. Here you go.
Well, I think the thing about open source stuff too is if you create a fork of an open source code base, you don't have to keep that fork open source.
Right, you could like make your own version of it and then
Right.
close it off, but then there's still the pre-existing.
Right.
It's like with OBS that we
Yeah,
use or whatever.
exactly.
It's like
We
it's an
use the
open source
version,
broadcasting software, but there's also Streamlabs that has its own like proprietary features and stuff, and that's like not as open or whatever, and that's its own thing, but the original still exists, which is nice. So like I think that could be cool, and I think eventually it won't even be an option. Like it's already starting to happen with media, with like the whole piracy and like Napster and all that stuff from the 2000s. It's inevitable. Like they tried so hard, like Metallica or whatever. They tried so hard to keep MP3s under lock and key, and it's like you can't.
No.
And they're gonna try super hard to keep the AI stuff under lock and key and like social media algorithms hidden from you. But it's like after a while, it's like you're not gonna be able to hide anything, or you know, everything will be leakable.
I think what it's kind of doing in a way too is like forcing people to like reassess what their place is in the capitalist society we live in, like on an individual level. Like you have to like think of yourself as a business, as an entrepreneur, as a creator now, because it's like your job could be taken away or like removed by an AI down the line. So if you're not using or exercising all the means at your disposal to move yourself forward, it's like at this point you might just get fucking run over. And I don't know. It's curious.
Who knows, man?
Yep.
All right, fellas, any other closing topics or thoughts y'all want to get into?
Shoot.
Not really.
Just do a little, just a little shorty today. We really didn't have anything planned for you. We're working on a big a big
Big brain project.
big brain project. We got a few
little
big
bit
brain
thick.
projects but we want to make sure that we really do them right and do the
Yeah.
research and the due diligence. But yeah, in between that, we do have another sweet guest episode coming up for you
Oh.
next week. And then also stay tuned for the members only podcasts that are going to be starting in the very near future.
Coming soon.
Those will be sweet, completely uncensored.
All right.
All right, boys.
All right. Ho.
Cool. Catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.